Welcome in Mathematics 9. So this is Sir Michael, your teacher for this video. For today, we'll be talking about direct variation. And our objective, identify the related quantities in a real-life situation and solve for the direct variation. Direct variation is defined as let x and y denote two quantities. Y varies directly with x or y is directly proportional to x. If there is a non-zero number k such that y is equivalent to kx, where the number k is called the constant of proportionality or the constant of variation. Always remember, if we're talking about direct variation, we are given with two quantities. Particularly with two quantities, we are identifying the direct relationship with each other. Where if x given with the x quantity, the x object increases, therefore the y object also increases. Or if the x quantity decreases, therefore our y quantity decreases. So sa madaling salita, kung ano mang mangyari kay x, ganun din ang mangyayari kay y, or kung ano man ang mangyari kay y, ganun din mangyayari kay x. So therefore, that is the concept of direct variation. In direct variation, we have four steps in identifying or solving direct variation. Number one, write the equation of variation in terms of y is equivalent to kx. Number two, substitute known values and solve for k. So in step number two, sa madaling salita, it is just talking about identifying or finding the value of k or the constant of variation. Step number three, replace k in the equation in step number one by the values obtained in step number two. So in step number three, we're just talking about creating the equation of variation. Variation. Yeah. And in step number four, we need to solve now the desired values. So madaling salita, in step number four, we are now identifying the unknown or the quantity that is being asked or the missing value. So therefore, this is the four steps in solving direct variation. So now, in this video, we will be applying the direct variation and the process of solving direct variation and identifying the unknown in a word problem. So therefore, let us start first with our first word problem. So let us just read it first. Okay, now we have the weight of an object in the moon varies directly its weight on Earth. An astronaut who weighs 80 kilograms on Earth, who weighs 12.8 kilogram on the moon. How much would a 60 kilogram person weigh on the Earth? So always remember, just like in any other problem, the key concept in understanding a word problem, or the key concept in easily understanding the word problem, is that we need to analyze them word per word, phrase by phrase, sentence by sentence. So now, let us begin. So a quick recall, always remember we have the concept of direct variation and we have sabi dito, y varies directly with x. Therefore, let us emphasize the words varies directly. So we have the words varies directly. And if we're given with varies directly, observe, sino po ang naunang letter? We have letter Y. And sino yung kasunod na letter? We have X. So please be familiarized or please memorize that idea. Kung sino yung nauna sa varies directly, we have y, quantity. Kung sino yung ating second or yung after ng varies directly, that is our x. So now let us go to the word problem. Sabi in our first sentence, sabi dyan, the weight of an object in the moon varies directly as the weight on the earth. So therefore, we have the word varies directly. So always remember, kung sino yung nauna, siya yung y. Kung sino yung after ng varies directly, siya yung x. In this word problem, we are talking about letter y as the weight of an object in the moon. So therefore, any weight on the object represent letter Y. Followed by varies directly. After varies directly, we are talking about weight on the earth. Therefore, that is our x quantity. So now, so that concept, so let us just emphasize it in our word problem by writing it as a given. According to our given, we have x and y. So ang x natin, we're talking about weight on the earth. And for the y, we are talking about weight on the moon. So let us write it down para hindi po tayo ma-confuse or may malito. Now, since we identified the x and y, let us now proceed to the second sentence. An astronaut who weighs 80 kilograms on the earth, so therefore kung earth yon, meaning kung siya ay yung una nating nabanggit, so that will be our x sub 1, then weighs 12.8 kilogram on the moon. So therefore, since pinag-usapan natin yung moon, therefore that is our y sub 1. So let us just write it down. Punta tayo sa whiteboard. We have the x sub 1 is equivalent to 80 kilogram. The y sub 1, we're talking about 12.8 kilogram. Yan, so nakukuha natin na yung mga given, no? So now let us proceed to the last question or the last sentence that we need to analyze. So sabi dito, how much would a 60 kilogram person, 60 kilogram person weigh on the moon? So therefore, if we're talking about 60 kilogram, therefore we are talking about x. So we are just writing it as x sub 2, since that is our second set. And we are looking with the weight on the moon. So therefore, that is our y sub 2. So we are looking with the measurement of the moon. So now let us write it down. X sub 1, x sub 2, and y sub 2. So x sub 2 natin is we have 60 kilogram. And we are looking with y sub 2, the measurement of the weight in the moon. So we are now done in analyzing the word problem. So okay na po tayo done. So since we already examined the entire word problem and analyzed everything in our word problem, so now let us go to the computation. So in the computation, so we are done with the given. So now let us write the formula. So the formula is, same pa rin tayo, we have y is equivalent to kx. So let us go to our solution. So for our solution, just like in the steps in our identifying the direct variation, ang first step natin is we need to write first the equation of variation in terms of y is equals to kx. And after that, we need to substitute the value of known and solve for k. So let us do that. Excuse me. So we will just substitute the given to our formula. So always remember, the first part of our solution, we will be using the set 1 or x sub 1 and y sub 1 values for us to identify the measurement of our k. So let us proceed by first substituting the given to our formula. It will become 12.8 is equivalent to k multiplied by 80. Next, after that, after substituting, this is our step number 1. So in step number 2, we will now identify the value of k. In identifying the value of k, we need to remove numbers beside k. So nasusundan pa so far. So what will happen? It will become 80 will be removed by dividing both of them by 80. So therefore, 80 divided by 80 will be just 1, or just we can have k is equivalent to, then 12.8 divided by 80. So in terms of here, we can just simply convert it into decimal para at least we can much visualize the correct answer. So k is equivalent to, so please use your calculator there. So 12.8 divided by 80. So what will be the answer? We will be having the answer of 0.16. Therefore, this is our constant of variation or decay. So since we're done with the step number 1, so we will now proceed on step number 2. We're done with step number 1 and 2, so we will now proceed in step number 3. In step number 3 is we need to identify the equation of variation. So to identify that, given with the k, we will just substitute the value of k to our formula. Just the value of k, so hindi na po natin ilalagay muna yung value ng x and value ng y. So let us just emphasize it by writing the equation of variation. Once again, we will just substitute the value of k to the formula. It will become y is equivalent to 0.16, then x. Therefore, this is our equation of variation. And next, so now we will now proceed on step number 5, solve for the desired value. So therefore, we will now identify the unknown. So how we will be identify the unknown? So first, we will be using our second set of given, and we will be using the equation of variation. So what will happen? We will just substitute the value of x sub 2 to our equation of variation, and kung ano man ang maging sagot, so that will be our final answer. Yeah, so let us proceed. So it will become, so we have x sub 2 is equivalent to 60 kilograms, and we have y sub 2 is the unknown, and we have y is equivalent to 0.16x as our equation of variation. So we will now solve. So y is equivalent to 0.16 multiplied by 60 kilograms. So using your calculator with you, so 0.16 multiplied by 60. So therefore, our answer is we have 9.6 measurement. And writing the unit, so our final answer is 9.6 kilogram. Therefore, this is our final answer for this problem of direct variation. So please have a copy on this solution. You may pause the video to copy everything and to check whether you truly understand the idea of solving word problem involving direct variation. Okay, so next, let us proceed. So let us go to our second problem. So in our second problem, you can just pause the video and try it on your own. And after that, if you got the answer, or you have the answer with you, you can just play it once again and check if your answers are correct. So now, let us proceed with our second word problem. So according to here, sabi dito, a pressure of water of an object varies directly with its distance form. A submarine experienced a pressure of 26 pounds per square inches at 60 feet below the surface. How much pressure will the submarine experience at 208 feet below the surface? So ready? So let us proceed with analyzing the word problem. So let us just analyze first the first sentence. Sabi dito, a pressure of water on an object varies directly. So we have the word varies directly. Always remember, kung sino po ang una-una sa kanya yung letter Y, kung sino yung after ng varies directly, so siya po yung ating letter X. So now, let us proceed. Sabi dito, a pressure of water on an object. So therefore, a pressure talks about letter Y and varies directly with distance talks about X quantity. Therefore, for Y, we have pressure. For X, we have distance. So let us just write in our whiteboard. So I'll just clear this everything. Okay, so let us write the given. Given. So we have X and Y. So in X, we're talking about distance. And in Y, we're talking about pressure. Next, so we are done with the first sentence. So let us now proceed to our second sentence. Sabi dito, a submarine experienced a pressure. Meron tayong nakuhang word na pressure. So if we're talking about pressure, we are talking about Y. So anong nabanggit na pressure natin dyan? We have 26 pounds per square inches. So this is our Y sub 1. And at 60 feet below the surface. So 60 feet, we're talking about X. Therefore, this is our X sub 1. So let us just write it down. So we have X sub 1 and Y sub 1. X sub 1, we're talking about ang distance natin is 60 feet. Tama ba ako sa unit? Yeah. Okay. So, I'm sorry. So, baguhin lang natin yung unit para hindi na po tayo magko-convert. So, this inches na to, let us just write it as feet. Para hindi na po tayo mag-convert. Sorry, ngayon ko lang din nakita. So, now, let us go here. So, for our pressure is we have 26 pounds per feet. Yan. So, para parehas po sila ng unit at hindi na po tayo magko-convert. So, that is our X sub 1 and Y sub 1. Next. After that, let us now identify the third sentence. Sabi dito, how much pressure will the submarine experience given with 208 feet? So, therefore, if we're talking about 208 feet, we're talking about a distance. Therefore, let us just write it as X sub 2. So let us write it down. So we have, sabi doon, X sub 1 is 60 feet and X sub 2 natin is we have 208 feet. And we are looking with our Y sub 2 or the pressure below 208 feet. So now, since we are done with the word problem, therefore, let us now go to the computation. So let us write the formula. So formula, we have Y is equals to Kx. So next, so in terms of Kx, so we will now proceed to our solution. So in solution, so same process pa rin, katulad na ng ginawa kanina. So let us first identify the equation of direct variation by using the first value of our x and y. So the x and y, so we would just substitute the given to our formula. It will become 26 is equivalent to k multiplied by 60. Next, so in terms of here, we will be now identifying the value of k. So we need to remove 60 beside k. So therefore, we need to divide both of them by 60. 60 divided by 60, it will become k. Then 26 over 60. So using your calculator, we can divide them. So 26 divided by 60 is just 0.43 and so on and so forth, na 3333. But let us just cut it out into decimal value and let us just write 0.43. So now we are now done in the given or in the we are now done in identifying k. So let us now proceed in the equation of variation. So in equation of variation, same process lang ng ginawa natin kanina. So we will just substitute the value of k to our formula. So we have y is equivalent to 0.43, then we have x. Therefore, that is our equation of variation. Next, so now let us now identify the unknown, such as according to here, we will be now using the second given, particularly we have x sub 2 is equivalent to 208 feet. We have y sub 2 is equivalent to unknown, and our equation of variation is we have y is equivalent to 0.43 then x. So now let us substitute the given. So we have y is equivalent to 0.53 multiplied by 208. So for you, if you are using your calculator, you may now calculate them. So 0.43 multiplied by 208. So we have y is equivalent to, we have 84.44 pounds per feet. Yeah, so therefore that is our answer. We have this one. So if you're looking on your notebook right now, so please check if you got the same idea. So parehas po ba tayo ng ating sagot in your notebook? And if yes, congratulations, that is a great job. But if no, please check kung saan po tayo nagkamali. And if kung saan tayo nagkamali, please bring out your red ball pen and encircle kung saan tayo nagkamali. And take note kung saan tayo nagkamali and write it. Saan ako nagkamali at bakit? And for our next problem, if you got another problem, therefore, itama na po natin siya. Okay, so that's it. So ito lang po ang i-discuss natin in this video. Thank you for listening and God bless.